Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rifka FACHRUMISA. I am an Indonesian. So, in this very nice occasions, I would like to present our paper titled STEAM Educations for Pre-Service Biology Teachers, What to Prepare in Reforming Their Capability. So, previous presenters have presented all about the school context, and I would like to give you information about the STEAM progress in the university context, especially in Indonesia. So it's already alluded that STEM has been STEAM educations, it's developed from STEM educations. And why should art be added here? Because art enhances creativity, problem solving, memory system, motor coordinations, and analytical skills, and could provide new motivations for STEM content. And many countries are striving for the efforts to improve STEM educations, seek to grow students' interest and achievement, increase time, and emphasize on STEM subjects, different approaches to the content, and the use of variety of instructional strategies. So yeah, we have watched all of the presenters who comes from variety countries about reporting about the progress of these STEM educations on their country, and in Indonesia itself, STEM educations it's still poorly understands, but we have a curriculum in the school curriculum or in the university curriculum, which can facilitate STEM educations itself. So in our current senior high school curriculum, there is a statement in the introductions or not introductions, it's in the document process that there is the statement, one of the rationales in developing the 2013 curriculum, it's our current curriculum called Curriculum 2013, is to shift the learning pattern of single discipline or monodisciplinary to multiple disciplinary learning. So there is a change for STEM here to be developed in our curriculum, senior high school curriculums. But what happens in the school? Until right now, we are still poorly understood, as what I said before, that we are still struggling to find the new way to integrate the fourth discipline into one, what we call it STEAM itself. So it's still our challenge to integrate it all in one single learning. And one of the university which concerned in educations, this university, one of the university called UM or Universitas Negeri Malang, the university where I work now, just developed a current curriculum, a new curriculum, called Curriculum 2018, which is underpinned by three basic approaches. The first one is about the capability approach, the second one is life-based learning, and the third one is about transdisciplinary. So we use the three principal approaches to our new curriculum in UM. Why should be capability? Because you may familiar with the competencies or ability or skills and knowledge. We assume that capability is an integration of knowledge and skills and personal qualities used effectively and appropriately in response to varied familiar and unfamiliar circumstances. We know that we are now live in unpredictable unpredicted era and fast-changing era. So the capability approaches, it's considered as the right one approach for our current curriculum. And the life-based learning means that the learning approach focuses on comprehending the nature of life, solving life problems skillfully, and also living the life in balance and harmony. And the third one about a transdisciplinary approach, it has been alluded as well by the previous presenters. The transdisciplinary considered as a form of highest integrations framework, which generate knowledge through the use of multi and interdisciplinary concepts. So transdisciplinary, it's the highest level of integrations. Why we use the transdisciplinary, even though we are still struggling to find a single, the basic things of the integrations, because we assumes that if we have the goal, you just set the goal, the highest goal, so we can at least maybe we achieve the middle or for the standard. So we are developing transdisciplinary in our new curriculum. So the aims of research of my paper is exploring the most effective way to teach STEAM educations for pre-service biology teachers so that they are capable of teaching STEAM to their future students. And I have three main research questions. The first one is how to construct STEAM teaching strategies for pre-service biology teachers. What are the STEAM education indicators to assess the pre-service biology teachers' achievement? And the third one, how to prompt innovative learning approaches in STEAM educations for pre-service biology teachers. So to answer those three questions, I use the modeling strategy using model inquiry context-based with 25 participants of my students. And actually the activity of learning we conducted for 3 days. The first day is about the theoretical framework of STEAM discussion. So we have discussion sessions, and we tried to scrutinize the theory and also the practice from all the country around the world about the STEM educations. And the second day, we undertook the classroom modeling. So one of the students which has been instructed by me to do a sort of modeling how to teach STEAM in the biology learning. And then the third day, they after the STEM learning, the third day it's the product exhibitions, or in this case is presenting their prototype of STEM. And the instrumentations, and to explore about the answer of those three research questions, we use the reflective essay. So the 25th participants has to write the reflective essays. How can they what have they achieved from the learning, and what they want to do for the next future to teach STEAM to their future students. And the result, before I concentrate to the three research questions, I want to show you about the response about the STEAM strategy that I use in the classroom. So 70%, almost 70% participants showed positive response to the modeling strategy for STEM educations. And one of the participants said that STEAM was alluded in the other module before, but I assumed that it was similar to STS approach. So most of students, it's not only one student who presumes that STEAM educations, it's same with the STS approach. We know that STS, it's a science, technology, and society. They assume that it's the same with STS. However, after having discussions about theoretical background about STEAM and actively involving in the modeling process, I now realize that this framework of education is really challenging myself. That's one of the opinion from my students. And then there was also the opinions with maybe it's a negative response from my students that say, I consider that STEAM is a troublesome learning model because I have to be able to relate the learning material to the other science rather than biology. One of the participants presumes that STEAM is troublesome because besides they have to comprehend their own subject, in this case is biology, they have to also find the other way to integrate with the other disciplinary, and they think it's troublesome. And for the emergent issues related to STEM, they related STEM educations with the character educations, and then the industrial revolutions for 4.0, 21st century educations, higher order thinking, and nationalism. So those 5 discourses has appeared in line with the discourse or their perceptions about the STEAM education. So they thought that STEAM educations is the new way to introduce about the effective learning for 21st century educations, for industrial revolution 4.0, and to build the character educations via STEM as well, and to enhance the higher order thinking, and also to promote the nationalists. They can promote with STEM. And the other result, they required to have experience in other models to approach, to comprehend more about STEAM strategy in the pedagogic modules besides inquiry context-based, which I used for the modeling. They required also to be modeled by using the problem-based learning model or project-based learning or PGBL. And emergent learning topic about STEAM in biology classroom comprise respiratory system, environmental issues, digestive system, protista, ecosystem, circulatory system, and excretory systems. Well, this is quite surprising me because most of the students usually when they are practice or they have to make some of lesson plan, they tend to choose the environmental issue to be their learning material. But with the STEAM and with the comprehending step to understand what is the theoretical background of STEAM, they can expand the material, learning material more richer. And in addition, some of the participants argued that it will be more effective to learn STEAM by experiencing STEAM learning in biology modules, because we are in the biology education department, so there are two kinds of modules. The first one is the pedagogic modules and the biology, nature of biology itself. So they require that to understand more about STEAM education, they want to have experience in the pedagogic modules only, but they want to know how to implement it in the biology classroom. So it's challenging for us. And the STEAM education indicator for free service teachers. So I divided into four main indicators to how to assess the free service biology teacher about teaching STEAM. The first one is about their pedagogical skills, and then pedagogical knowledge. It's different because of skills. It's something that has to be, repeated, such as the classroom management skill and content-related skills. And as for the pedagogical knowledge, it's a knowledge for creating effective learning and learning environments. It's about how to choose the models or strategies or approach, so on and so forth. And then we have also STEAM skills. STEAM skills here, we found that it mostly connected with the higher order thinking skills, such as the creative thinking skills, problem solving, decision making, and then critical thinking, so on and so forth. And STEAM knowledge. STEAM knowledge here means that how to integrate one discipline to the other discipline to build one integrated theme of STEAM itself. So those four indicators has appeared by assessing their self-assessment. And STEAM education as innovative learning, or STEAM education creates innovative learning. What we expect at the first that we want to know how can they explore their innovative way to teach STEAM in their classroom in the future. But what I had got, they presumes that STEAM education is still an innovations from them. So in the introductions, they assumes that STEAM educations still considered as an innovative learning. So it's a new thing for them. What we hope in the future is STEAM creates innovative learning. So after they comprehend deeply about STEAM educations, what we hope that they can create more innovative learning by using STEAM itself. And in the discussions, there is three main points that I will explain. The first one is about emotions. As I have said before about the attitude or the response about STEAM itself, there are 30% of the students which have the negative response or negative attitude towards STEAM. And I think I related with the emotions that they have, as alluded by Professor Peter as well, that emotions, it's a very important thing. But in fact, that many of the educators has ignored this trait of the learning. So emotions, it's important to introduce STEAM education for his pre-service teacher. And the second one is major challenge in STEAM education are articulated as three key barriers, namely crowded curriculum, perceived irrelevance, and limited institutional and external stakeholder commitment. The first one about crowded curriculum. We have current curriculum, like what I explained before. It's about capability and about life-based learning and transdisciplinary learning. These three approaches is still misunderstood by many lecturers. Maybe not all comprehend those of the approaches that which is it still become our challenge to enact more or enact fully with the curriculum. And perceived irrelevance means here and happens in my in most of my colleagues that STEAM, it's anything which included into science, technology, engineering, mathematics, or arts. It's a STEAM, even though it's separated. Even though it's separated, not in the whole, not integrated, they still consider it as a STEAM. For example, when someone just teach about chemistry without it's related with technology, engineering, or arts, or with mathematics, because it's chemistry which is included into science, they still consider when they teach chemistry, they teach STEAM. That's perceived irrelevance in the field. And the limited institutional or external stakeholder commitment. We have conducted some training program for teachers, but it happened last year on 2018. But currently, or this year, I have never heard about the continuity of the program, and there is no other program about STEAM or STEM in our country. So the third barriers is still relevant with the Indonesian context. And the third, the education standards are changing. Concurrent ideas about humanizing the ubiquitous use of technology, response to cultural environments and economic change, and the creations of new spaces, system, and environment in preparations for a better future are objectives of STEAMs. Yeah, it's very relevant that we have to teach our generations by using STEAM to prepare them to be better generations and to be more engaged with the cultural environments and economic, so on and so forth. And as for the conclusions and recommendations that I got, preparing the pre-service biology teacher to implement STEAM educations by using modeling in the pedagogical modules considered as an effective strategy, but not enough to make the mastering STEAM in a whole. As I've said before, that they required more practically in the other modules besides the pedagogic modules. And before introducing the STEAM educations, they have to comprehend the conceptualizations in HOTS, integrated curriculum, and 21st century education discourses. Yeah, because it has been alluded in their essays or in their self-assessment that it's related one to each other, so they have to comprehend those discourses first before they introduce STEM educations. And the last one, STEM education can be taken into account as UM's curriculum 2018 enactment, so every lecture, either pedagogic or biology, have to consider STEAM as their module strategy. Well, it may be our next work in the future. As the pedagogical lecture, I have to make the other partner, especially non-pedagogic lecture, to engage more with STEM as a modern approach or as the current approach. So that's what I have and what I want to present. I think that's all. Thank you. 谢谢.
Thank you very much. So now we have the Q&A session. I would like to ask if there are any questions from the floor. And I have a question over here. Yeah. So can you please give an example of the inquiry context-based learning that was used by the teachers? And did all teachers use the same topic in your study?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
Of course, yeah. Can you please give an example of the inquiry context-based learning that was used by the teachers? And also, did all the teachers use the same topic in your study?
Okay, for example, they learn about the STEM context in the coastal area because we Indonesian is an archipelago country, so we have many islands in our country. So, and some islands which has a beautiful panorama, but it has another what is called? It has another it's so risk with the disasters such as tsunami and also the earthquake. So they introduce to build the new city or a new place of recreations around the coastal area, how to make it still interact the tourists, but it's safe, or it can avoid, or it can be it can mitigate the disaster when it's happened. So they build some prototypes of the recreations place in the coastal area, and they give some of the explanations about what is the each discipline that they have to comprehend to make it real, and what is the indicators of each, like science, technology, engineering, arts and mathematics that they involve it in their prototype. So that's the example of what they have taught. Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much. Can I please ask Ms. FACHRUMISA to remain on stage?